in. Let's just, you know what? Screw putting your toe in the water. Just put your whole ass body in. Here we go. A new lawsuit shows major gas stations are using AI to drive up prices and coordinate price fixing. Oh. They're using an AI tool called Calibrate to adjust price based on confidential data. The lawsuit claims that this has increased gas prices by as much as 30 cents a gallon in California. Of course, it's in California. This is a proposed class action lawsuit. Companies operating over 1,700 stations in the state, including BP, Circle K, 7-Eleven, Walmart, which I believe is Murphy's, I believe is Walmart's gas station. You have Marathon Petroleum, Albertsons, and others, EG America, Cumberland Farms, which we have Cumberland Farms where we are. Calibrate is also named as a defendant. And according to this has been looked into, y'all, and it's wild. The systems are using machine learning and algorithms to increase prices due to things like traffic patterns, time of day, competitor moves, weather, events, and more. The system is being fed confidential real-time data, including their own costs, sales volumes, inventory, and historical pricing, and then finds a way to take all this information and maximize profits. You already know this is going to be used in all kinds of industries to squeeze us for everything we have. Guess what? Walmart started it, ladies and gentlemen. In case you weren't aware, they started the whole thing with they've all gone to digital pricing so that they can, at peak times, charge you more. We talked about this forever ago. In New Jersey, I believe it was the prototype Walmart, where it was tracking you walking through the store. The second you walk in the store and you get a cart, there's like this whole wall that shows you walking. Now you're supposed to look at it and think, oh, look how cute that looks. It's like a little digital me. Nah, honey, they're learning your stride. They're figuring out where you're going. They're listening to you, all that fun stuff. So then it tracks what aisles you go down to. It tracks what you pick up, what you put back, what you're willing to pay, not willing to pay. And then it does whatever it does, and it figures out what you are going to, and they're talking about, they've been talking about forever, how your price may be different than the person that comes up and picks up the same exact item after you, maybe 30 minutes later, whether it's because of peak time of shopping, or it's because they know that you can afford it and will pay it, and that person can't and won't. It's a whole thing. So this is not surprising in the least to me. Now, I also want to show you that there is a coffee shop that's using the same kind of AI to calculate profitability for customers and employees. Now, also, I don't remember if it's CVS or Rite Aid, maybe even Walgreens, but I actually think it was Walgreens. They were using this technology years ago to profile people. Honestly, it might have been Rite Aid, and now Rite Aid's out of business. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but I do remember this, and I cannot remember exactly which one it was, but there was a whole shit hit the fan kind of situation when people realized, I swear it was Walgreens though, because they were putting the stuff behind the glass, remember, and it had like the digital price tags on it as well. I think it was Walgreens, but don't quote me there, but I'm pretty sure that's who it was. Now, not to be that person, but I'm gonna be that person for just half a second. You guys probably know that I own a Tesla too, actually, because they're absolutely amazing cars, and the amount that we've saved on gas alone in the month and a half, 2 months that we've owned two Teslas has been phenomenal. We just got first modifications installed also. If anybody wants to see those, I'll put a link to Kevin's Patreon down below. You guys can check that out. But the whole thing, people are scared of Tesla, right? They think that Tesla is run by Big Brother, that it's keeping an eye on you, that's tracking everything you do, blah, 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 blah. But here you have actual proof that gas-powered cars also are having the same kind of situation, I guess you could say, but in a different way. Tesla is keeping you safe. These people are trying to figure out how to take all your fucking money. Like, they're trying to figure out how to charge you more for the gas that you need to get from home to work, to your kid's ballet class, to take your son to baseball, to go take mom to the doctor, take your dog to the vet. They're trying to figure out how to make sure you pay top dollar for the gas that you need, because you have to do these things. These are non-negotiable things that need to be done in your life. This is basically, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the movie Eagle Eye, the movie Enemy of the State, this is what this is. So, and then also, y'all, take into consideration here that Tesla actually tells you ahead of time. They show you what you'll be paying for peak versus off-peak hours at their supercharge. They tell you when the peak times are. Before, like if you're on a trip, and maybe some of you don't know this, so let me educate you, because I had to learn it myself when we got our Tesla. when you're driving and you decide that this is the supercharger you're going to stop at, right? You put it in your GPS, your navigation as a destination, and it will tell you, hey, you're going to show up there at peak time. This is how much you're going to be paying. And you can either go, okay, well, I'll pay that, or you can go, look, I can stop sooner and go ahead and charge on non-peak, or I have to go a little bit farther and charge on non-peak, or I can stop here and go ahead and do this. Now, the fact that Tesla tells you that is amazing. You really think BP, Circle K, 7-Eleven, Walmart, when you show up at the gas pump, is going to be like, hey, by the way, you could pay a little bit less if you want to wait 2 hours. No, they're going to take your money, honey. Now, granted, there's that little app that they say will save you 25 cents a gallon, but I've even tried that. Let me give you a little whatever. So Circle K, they have the 93 octane that I need for my Mustang Dark Horse, right? I got to use 93. And so I go to Circle K to fill up because they've got it, versus some of these other gas stations like Raceway or whatever, they got like 91 or 92. So I go there and they say, hey, if you put in your phone number, you can save 25 cents a gallon. I'm like, all right, bet. So I put in my phone number to save 25 cents a gallon. You know what I have yet to save is 25 cents a gallon. It keeps telling me every single time, hey, you're almost there. You've almost gotten enough gallons that will give you some savings. And it's just a continuation of dragging you along or kicking the can down the road, if you will, as opposed to, I already know that if I'm going to go charge my car, if I wait and charge it at night at home, it's going to cost me less than if I charge it in the middle of the day. If I go to this supercharger, Tesla's going to say, hey, listen, it was going to be a little bit pricey, but if you want to go 3 miles down the road, it might be cheaper. If you want to wait 30 minutes, it might be cheaper. Your call. The app is, Brain finally figured it out. The app is called Upside. However, most people are still waiting to actually see the upside. Now, let me just go ahead and tell you guys the absolute upside for me when it comes to Tesla. I can charge my car at home. So if I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to do mom-wife things, go to the grocery store, take the dog to the vet, make sure you got some water, because you got to have water in the house. Make sure you have everything the kid needs for whatever life is, right? Go take her to work, pick her up from work, whatever. I know that when I get home, if it says that my battery is low, I don't have to be like, oh shit, I need to go right back to the gas station, or I got to get up early and leave 10 minutes early so I can get to the gas station and get gas. No, I park in my driveway and I plug her in and I go inside and I don't think about it. And in the morning when it's time to go do more errands or more whatever, I have a full tank, no worries at all. Plus, I also have the ability when driving, regenerative braking. So the way Tesla works, regenerative braking basically builds your battery up while you're driving, which last time I checked, I don't get extra gas while I'm using gas to drive my Dark Horse. Gas powered cars use fuel on acceleration and they use fuel on deceleration. Now at home, I'm at 19 cents a kilowatt hour or less. Most of the time it will be less, or I can even use solar for the car. Now, I'm not trying to say that everybody out there needs a Tesla, but I would say the majority of people out there need a Tesla. But if you are going to get a Tesla, you guys can use my link down below. You get a little perk when you do it. So
a new lawsuit claims gas stations are actually using AI to drive up prices at the pump. California drivers are suing 7 companies, including BP, Circle K, 7-Eleven, and Walmart. They claim they're using an AI tool called Calibrate, with a K, to adjust prices based on confidential data. The lawsuit claims this has increased gas prices by as much as 30 cents a gallon. Walmart told ABC News they are reviewing the complaint and will respond appropriately in court.
What's interesting to me is they say confidential data, but I feel like traffic patterns and time of day stuff isn't exactly confidential. But what would be confidential is if they're, even that's probably not confidential, but so here there's gas stations that are on 2 different corners. This one is 10 cents cheaper than this one. And I'm like, who in their right mind is going to go to the 10 cent more expensive one? Well, the 10 cent more expensive one is much easier to get in and out of. This one's a pain in the ass to get in because the ground is trash. It'll destroy you if you have a lip on your car. If your car's lowered, you're screwed there. They've got 2 pumps. This one, the entrances are nice. The gas station looks clean. They've got like 6 pumps. So people, based off of just not wanting to, I guess, pull up to the slums, they're going to pay 10 cents more a gallon to go over here to this. I feel like that might be a way that they are tracking things and then charging more. Because for that gas station to charge 10 cents more for the exact same gas that's on this corner, that's a little crazy. But it's obvious that people are willing to pay it just for the visual of where they're pulling into. That's kind of on the people at the same time. Now, speaking of confidential data, by the way, there's this new metric in YouTube that I saw in YouTube Studios that provides information on the general household income of your audience, or if your audience are parents or not. But the general household income, so far there's a bug with there. It's not showing anything, but I did notice it, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because then it helps advertisers know who to put the ads in for. Like, let's say, for example, my channel, let's say the majority of people on my channel make over $100,000 a year. The advertisers are gonna go for the things that are gonna cost just a hint more money, or maybe the vacations or the whatever, and they're gonna put those ads on my videos. If you see that my people are probably $40,000 or less, they're probably going to put ads on there for, title loans and credit cards and whatever else. I had a sponsor reach out to me that wanted me to basically hawk these like free cell phones for people who are on, I guess, every government assistance program humanly known to man. But I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I would much rather work with people in our school community and teach you guys how to make real money than hawk some shit at you because like they think you can't afford life. You know what I mean? So case in point, bottle of water here. Went to Walmart. Let me just tell you, going to Walmart is a whole zoo in and of itself, whole different topic, conversation. Hi. So we go to Walmart and we get a couple of cases of water. I think it's like $4.99 for 36 bottles, possibly like that, because I think at Sam's Club it's $3.99. You get the savings by going to Sam's Club, although you got to drive to a Sam's Club, and so that's a whole nother thing also. But this bottle by itself, this bottle out of the pack is a couple cents, right? But if you were to buy this exact same bottle of water at the checkout, you're going to pay a little bit more. If you go to a gas station to buy this bottle of water, you're going to pay a little bit more. If you go to a sporting event to buy this bottle of water, hopefully you sold a kidney before you got there. And if you go to an airport and need to buy this bottle of water, hopefully you sold both your kidneys, maybe a spleen, something else possible. It's the exact same bottle of water across the board, but depending on where you go to buy it will determine how much they're going to charge you for it and if you're willing to pay it or not. Same thing with housing. You can get a house for a low price, or you can get a house for a high price. It just depends what area do you want to be in with that same house. But the problem here is they are using this tech, this, what do we call it? This Calibrate, to determine this in real time. Just like Walmart, in real time, like right then and there, they're going to determine what the price is going to be. I'm curious how often people are standing at their pump and they go look at other people's pumps to see if the price is different or not. Oh, this one's bullshit to me. Look, this is bullshit to me. Anybody can go out there and pretend that this is real, but this says Buc-ee's gas exposed. Creator Mad Max CX7 ran a fuel quality test on Buc-ee's gas, and the receipts are brutal. While competitors like Circle K and Racetrack tested clean and clear, those are probably the two that paid him to do this, Buc-ee's sample came back completely foggy at the bottom, showing an ethanol level pushing E14 to E15. It proves they are heavily cutting their fuel to keep their pumps cheap. Absolute engine killer. Look, you know why their pumps are a little bit cheaper than everybody else's? Because you're going inside their store and spending a college tuition on fucking beaver nuggets. Like, they are making their money up on the inside, not the outside. They have the ability to give you a little bit cheaper on your gas in order to get you in the store where the profits will actually be made. Also, the gas is not that much cheaper compared to other places. Now, it looks like it if you get a car wash. If you get a car wash, you're paying like $1 a gallon, but you're also getting a car wash that you paid for. So it still kind of sort of evens out, but it looks good because the gas price is so incredibly low. Do you really think that if the gas was absolute shit, that people's cars would not be noticeably running awful after filling up at a Buc-ee's gas station? Come on now, y'all. Now, I will say, just on a little side note, you don't really have to worry about getting bad electricity with the Tesla, although you do have to worry about sometimes getting bad gas that's been a little watered down, or heaven forbid, you put diesel in a gas or vice versa, you're fucked then. Just in, Tesla sales in Europe surged 77% from January through May. Hey, Zeus almighty. Yeah, that's Europe. Well, I will say Europe, they do have a bigger push for EV, like you're supposed to go more EV there, but for the fact that they chose Tesla over other ones, I think says a lot as well. That full self-driving, y'all don't understand, it is an absolute game changer for so many people. Not just new drivers, drivers with newborn babies, drivers with 7 kids in the back, older people with a little bit of vision, maybe whatever issues. There's so many people that this is good for. And recently, a lot of these European countries have actually been getting access to FSD, so the surge makes a lot of sense. There was one guy I watched a video on who was driving a new Model YL, and he was talking about how when he got it, it did not have FSD. But his previous car, his Model Y, did have FSD, so he was so used to that. So now he has to kind of relearn to, drive normal or not put it on autopilot and expect it to turn. That's how you end up in houses. Even the Netherlands has FSD, and there's going to be a lot more coming. This one, oh wow. So Model Y order saying 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. People want a Model Y. I got a Model Y. When I purchased mine, I purchased mine through the app because that's the best way to do it. Towards the end of May, and it said it would be here July, August, right? Oh no, first, no. I got it in May. I ordered it in May, and it said it'd be here June, July, and I was like, all right, cool. That's 4 to 6 weeks. Then it updated July 9th to August 2nd, and I was like, that's a pretty big window there, and that's more like 8 to 10 weeks at this point. And then randomly, I got it like a week later, which was absolutely great. So it says 6 to 8 weeks, meaning a lot of people are ordering, because these are literally made to order. These are made to order vehicles. You order it through the app, you put your deposit on, then they get started on it. You might get one earlier if somebody else had ordered the exact specifications that you did, and then they decided they didn't want it for some weird reason. Then you may be able to get your specific spec earlier. But because these are made to order, as opposed to, let's think about like Taco Bell, McDonald's, all your stuff's already sitting there just waiting for somebody to come pick it up. This is a made to order. Like you order it, they make it for you specifically then. And it says 6 to 8 weeks, but like I said, you could get it much sooner. Now, I did see where a person who had ordered a Model 3 Performance was able to get his sooner because he changed like the tire setup from, I believe it was all season to winter or vice versa, one of the two. It was Arizona or Mexico, I believe, and he switched from summer to all season. And he also got Frost Blue, which is the new 2026 color, but only in premiums. So sometimes people do cancel just to get the car a little bit sooner, just in a slightly different spec. Now, this morning, I woke up and I realized that today's the 27th. I was like, oh shoot, I need to pay our electric bill. So I went on my app here on my handy dandy phone, and I pulled up the app, and I was like, oh wow. This is the most we've paid for electricity in a while. It is $473, whereas last month it was $318. The same time last year, about the same price, $318. I was like, what the crap did we do for $473? I know our kid leaves her lights and fans and TV on all the time. We have a tendency to leave certain things running, but it is also summer, and I keep the air. The highest that's going in here is 74, and even then, I normally drop it down to 72. I don't like to be hot, which living in Florida makes absolutely no sense because I don't like to be hot. But then I realized that obviously we've been charging 2 vehicles here. And I was like, okay, well that's an extra, $150 for a month to charge 2 vehicles. Dang. Now let me break it to you like this, or put it to you like this. Most people are gonna look at this bill and go, holy jolly, that's a lot of money. But it's because you're not seeing the gas you're putting in your vehicle and your electric bill right next to each other all the time. If you did that, you'd probably shit a brick seeing how much you spent on gas for a month plus your electric bill. When I do it like this, I'm looking at my electric bill at $473 or whatever that says, because I need mom eyes to see. Yeah, $473, and it's $150 more than the last month. I'm like, that's still a third or a quarter of what we would have put in gas in a Ford Expedition if my husband was still driving, even his Porsche Macan that, we traded for the Model 3, or even if he was driving the Z06, or I was driving the Dark Horse. Like, if those were dailies, we'd both need to sell a kidney because the gas prices are, it's absolutely crazy. So looking at this, I'm like, oh, okay. So for a month, I spent $473 to fill up technically 2 vehicles all month long and run all the electricity in my home. That is a savings. That is a win. Plus, the gas bill. Let's think about it like this. When you go to the pump, a lot of people are using a credit card, not their debit card. You should never use your debit card anywhere like that because anybody can get access to your personal money that way. Always use a credit card, pay it off immediately. That's what I say, but that's a different topic. But most people are using a credit card, not paying it off the second they get back in their car, and they're paying interest on the same gas that they just bitched about the cost of putting in their car. So you're paying extra for the gas. Whereas here, I'm not paying any kind of extra because I'm plugging in at home. 2027 Model YL, the 6-seater. Now, I want to point out here that this person who posted this, this is going to be huge. When the Model YL shows up, this is going to be huge. But I want to point out this person got 107,000 views on X on this post, which is a lie. All right. Now, if you guys want the truth about Tesla or literally anything else out there, make sure you guys are following me over on X. There is a link in the description for that as well, and the About section. But this guy is full of shit. Now, next tab. He clearly shows that the source is my imagination, but he does not put that in the headlines. He does not put that in the top part. And we've talked about this numerous times, how people will put out there what they want you to see. They will give you the lie and hope you never see the truth so that you will only run with the lie. This person's obviously a Democrat, because this is a Democrat MO all day long. You know, lie to them, give them false information, hope they see it, hope they run with it, whether it's positive or negative. It depends on the Democrat and what lie they're trying to tell or sell. And then, you know, most people are going to see this and tell everybody, oh, look, it's coming out. This is the price. This is what it comes with, blah, 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 blah. And then when it doesn't happen, who do they get mad at? Not Dennis CW, the lying asshole. They get mad at Elon. They get mad at Tesla because they were told that this is what was happening. Elon didn't tell you that. Tesla didn't tell you that. This dipshit here told you that. But because nobody wants to scroll down or do a little bit of research, unfortunately, they're not going to see that Dennis CW is a lying asshole, because the source is his imagination. He has no clue when this stuff is going to happen. It's not like Elon called me and was like, hey, Dennis, I saw you have a small X account. Let me give you all the information I haven't even given to my dealerships, okay? Now, we did watch a YL video. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her. Her name is Kim Java, I think, Java. We watched Ryan's Model Y. I swear I'm not dyslexic, just some days I like to act like it. So Ryan's Model Y, we watched his video on the Model YL, and then Kim Java had a video on the Model YL. But they're both in China, because guess what we don't have here in the United States? A fucking Model YL, unlike Dennis. Okay, sorry, one of them's in Australia. Ryan's in Australia, they have Model YL. Kim Java flew to Beijing to go to the Tesla museum, biggest dealership there is. She went there to look at the YL because she has a Model X. I've never been in a Model X, but they're the ones that every time I see them, I'm like, hiya, right? That's what it looks like. And I feel like you're supposed to karate kick somebody then, because it's like the what is it, the crane? That's what they call that, the flying crane, right? I don't know why that's my face when I do that either, but she did a review on it compared to her X, but I'm looking at it compared to a Y, because we just got the Y Performance, which is badassery, and she's showing it and it looks really cool. I think it's going to be a great car for a lot of families out there who do need more seating than the standard 4 or 5 that you get in a regular Y or even a 3 or whatever else. But the perk to the YL, in my opinion, is captain's chairs. That was why I loved my Ford Expedition so much, is because I had the driver, passenger, and then I had the captain's chairs with the armrest and everything, and the ability to have some space in between. And then you had your bench row in the back that sat 3. The YL, you've got your regular driver and passenger. You got 2 captain's chairs, and then you have these small little 2-seaters that kind of sit back in the middle between. I feel like Donald Trump right now, huge. It sits back in the middle right there, and it looks good. It's like 6 inches longer, ladies, than the regular Y, and size matters in this regard to how much space they have in there. And there's still trunk space, a really good boot area. It's going to be really, really nice once it does show up. I don't love the visual of it from certain angles. It looks a little to me, but for people who need that amount of seating, the Ryan Model Y guy, he showed how they got 2 car seats in there and still able to put groceries in there, and the ease of getting in and out, although he did say the back doors don't open as wide as he wishes they would, but I feel like that happens in a lot of cars. It's like, okay, so let's think about this. The Model Y is like a regular Expedition, right? Which I had first, when we lived in Georgia. I had a regular Expedition, absolutely loved it. The Model YL is what I call the Expedition Max, which is what I had here before I sold it for my Model Y Performance. I call it the long-ass version. So the YL is the long-ass version of a Tesla Model Y, and I think it will definitely come in handy for a lot of people, especially if you don't use that 3rd row, you put it down, then you have a massive trunk space, a whole long ass of space that you can put literally anything in, right? Longer wheelbase, bigger battery, wider back end opening for the seats and everything you need to put in the back there, which is really cool. And the screen is a little bit bigger. So this is the one I did see. So Tesla's 6-seater Model YL is now actively undergoing road testing in the US, signaling that a US launch could be just around the corner. I mentioned this to Kevin. I told him, I said, hey, I saw this. I don't know for a fact if it's real or not, because anybody could have just covered this stuff up. But according to this person, the long-awaited 6-seat Model Y could soon give families and EV buyers a more spacious Tesla option with an additional row of seating and whatever else. But I think it's interesting because the way that they have the back covered up is it does give the illusion that it might be the YL, because this Model Y is the only one that actually says Model Y on the back. The Model YL, it says Model Y, and it's got like 3 almost BMW looking slashes, which is very weird to me, but whatever. But the fact that they have the front of it covered up and the back of it covered up could be accurate here, or it could just be somebody dicking around trying to be seen. And Model Y. Wow. Anyway, so that's cool. So hopefully we'll have that soon. Now, Sawyer Merritt, who I like Sawyer Merritt a lot, he actually has a post on X that said almost verbatim what I said in my Tesla video with you guys a couple days ago. And I commented on his text. I'm like, hey, I said the same thing. Look at my video. We are like synonymous here. We think the same way. We like Sawyer Merritt. We trust Sawyer Merritt. Those other ones, I don't know, especially the one who was using his imagination, basically pulling it out his ass. The other one that I just showed you, I cannot prove that this is real or not, but this is something that Tesla does do. They do cover up the cars, drive them around, try to figure things out. So there's a 50-50 chance there. But Sawyer says the NHTSA has just officially announced that they are getting rid of the manual brake pedal mandate for vehicles designed to be driven exclusively by automated driving systems. The move builds on the agency's effort to safely unleash American innovation and rethink the types of equipment like windshield wipers or a rearview mirror vehicles don't need if a human being will never drive the car. Let me just really quickly interject here.
It automatically disqualifies you from legendary status. Hey, Mystical, I wish I was on that motherfucking jury. No, I would have sent your bitch ass to the penitentiary, bitch. Cause ain't that much bad luck in the world.
Radio host Big Tigger got into a physical altercation with his wife when she found text messages in his phone. He ended up wrestling her to the ground. He grabbed her by the arm and he threw her head first through the goddamn door, man.
That was good. I love that.
That was crazy, right?
I love that for Tigger. He married a female who already has a missing child. They haven't found this woman's child been missing for 6-7 years.
Like as we speak type shit?
Yeah, he met her and got a relationship with her knowing that she had a missing child type of shit. Right there, right, bitch, you gotta tell me something about that, bitch. Cause bitch, I'm suspicious. Bitch, we not gonna let Big Tigger fall because of you, bitch.
We ain't never had no problem out of Big Tigger.
We have to give him the benefit of the doubt in this shit. I believe that T.I. has a grudge against Ray Daniels about something or over something that has nothing to do with Ray Daniels' observation of T.I.
So we are back again with the man of the hour, man. Dollface.
What's happening, man? How you feel?
Feeling great, man. Hey, man, you kind of fresh off a brand new Vlad TV interview, right?
Yeah.
We pulled it off, huh?
Something like that, yeah.
Not only did we pull it off, man, you did Vlad TV, which was a big feat. Mm-hmm. But to be asked to come back again, dog, that ain't no normal shit, man.
Yeah, so like you just said, it was a big feat to have made the first time, but to have been asked to come back a second time, and on top of that, Vlad announced during the interview that I would be a reoccurring guest on a regular basis. So,
wow.
I mean, it is what it is, man. If you operate in this space, doing what I do, then something like that it's a check mark. It's a milestone.
See, a lot of people don't know Vlad like I know Vlad, man. Like working with him over the years, man. To get people on Vlad TV, he passed all day. All days, pass. Yes, mm-hmm. pass. Mm-hmm. For him to have you come back, man, that says a lot, man. Just keep it real. Congratulations on being a regular, man. That's dope.
Appreciate that.
Man, we got to talk about America real quick, bro. Because it seems like lately, the American judicial system has been letting us down lately, man. From the Mr. Child situation, Carmelo Anthony situation. What are your thoughts on America's criminal system as of late?
So I'm a student of history, religion, and politics, which means when I say that, I mean that I have studied history, religion, and politics since my early teens, and I've read more books than you can imagine, that somebody could imagine. When you say that the American judicial system has let us down, the American judicial system is doing what it always has done. It's doing what it was designed to do. It was designed to provide some semblance of some sense of justice for white people. It was never designed for us to benefit from it or to take advantage of it. So the American justice system, it is what it is, and is always going to be that way. As long as white people are controlling this shit, it's always going to be that way, because the judicial system The biggest influence, is the people who control it. The people who control it don't look like us. They don't give a fuck about us. They don't have any genuine concern for us, our safety, our welfare, or our well-being. So if you're hoping to get some justice from a system that was designed to deny you justice, you crazy as a motherfucker. Now we can slip through the cracks, because in the world we live in now, money talks, bullshit run a marathon. O.J. Simpson was able to beat his murder charges because he had the money to fight. Sometimes money helps and sometimes it doesn't help. But even if you do have money, if the white man wants your ass is grass.
Well, I don't have this in my notes, but you saying it kind of remind me of this situation. Hernandez Govan, I guess you could say he slid through the cracks. He wasn't a rich man.
Right.
He slid through the cracks, but he's kind of going through some unfortunate situations right now.
Right. But as far as that, the capital offense that he was charged with, yeah, he absolutely skated on that. He got found out guilty, but we call it skating. Because when a black man is charged with a capital offense like that, and you beat it at a trial, that's some shit to celebrate.
Let me ask you this, bro. Do you think they're going to do Hernandez Govan like OJ in the sense of OJ got off of murder, but he went try to get his memorabilia back, and the judge like, you know what, we're going to give you 9 years, fuck nigga. You think since Hernandez is going through a thing right now, he got off with the Young Dolph thing, but he kind of got it to him with his bitch. You think they're going to hit him with the OJ thing and try to get him for the Dolph situation?
Did he get into it with his female in Memphis, or was it somewhere else?
I can't really say. I'm not really sure. So
I think it may have been Memphis. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Or was it Atlanta?
I want to say Memphis.
But to your point, because no matter where OJ was in the world, they were going to get that ass together.
Got him together.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got him together in Las Vegas, right? And it happened in California.
Yeah.
I mean, Hernandez Govan, before the Young Dolph trial, who was he? He was a street nigga. So I don't think the system necessarily has it out for him. I just think that he found himself in a situation that, when you look at what he escaped, right, you would think that he would be moving with more of a measured response. You would think that he'd be operating with a little bit more intellect in terms of how he carries himself and the situation that he finds himself in. I think Hernandez Govan is just a motherfucker who he was thrust into the limelight. So what we're seeing is just who he is. It's obvious. What we're seeing, what we're being witness to right now, that's just who he is. It is what it is, man. So I don't think the system is after him. I think that he just found himself in an unfortunate situation, and I think that, I mean, you know, there's no hell like a woman scorn, bro. A woman can be your biggest downfall. Just ask Adam.
Let's stay on the topic of America and how unjust things have been lately, man. Let me get this off, man. So I'm gonna call this the Mississippi diaper murder, right? For people that's not familiar with the situation, calls for justice are growing after 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was shot and killed by police responding to a shoplifting call at a Walmart in Mississippi. Police reportedly fired into the car of a shoplifting suspect. The officer alleged the vehicle was accelerating toward him at the time, and it caused a deadly shooting. The family of the toddler is now seeking an independent autopsy after his death. Now, their attorney, Benjamin Crump, questioning the police response, saying they were called over a box of diapers, and the family now has to bury the baby. My question to you, Dogface, is why do you think police use such excessive force in petty crimes like this, bro?
Well, let me just say this. The origins of the police call itself may have been petty on the grand scale of things. I don't think anybody, we can talk about the diapers and the petty theft, but the officer didn't respond with deadly force because of, from what I understand, he saw them get into the car. He knew it was a child in the car, and he still chose to fire into the car. In situations like this, you would hope that law enforcement, because I've seen white people do all kinds of shit. I've seen white people drag the police down the street, and they had an opportunity to put a firearm and shoot, and they didn't. So we already know that the police response, it's a different response. Black people get a different response and a different reaction from law enforcement than white people do. That's like an undisputable fact. But It's an unfortunate set of circumstances. I wish it wouldn't have happened. I'm going to always say that. I'm going to always say that disclaimer when I'm talking about situations like this. We're going to have to see. I haven't had the opportunity to look at all the evidence or look at all of the findings up to this point. But we have to be, as a people, here in Mississippi. What do you expect?
They could have just let her go, man. You know what I'm saying? It's diapers. All right, they say she's driving the car toward the officer.
But yeah,
could have got out the way like, all right, then.
I saw the video and I didn't see her swerve towards him, right? But you know, if you give them any window to justify their actions, they're gonna put your ass down. It's as simple as that. So when you moving, I don't give a fuck what you doing. I don't give a fuck if you're selling dope, robbing, stealing, whatever the case may be. You know that when you encounter law enforcement, you know that you got to take some measures. You try to evade them, right? You know that if they have a slither, they have a glimpse of an opportunity to justify doing something to you, they're going to do it. We know what it is.
Now look, brother, the officer who fired the shot has been placed on administrative leave.
Yeah.
Why wasn't this officer fired or even placed in jail, man? Why they do shit like that?
Mafia, you know motherfucking well, the last thing they want to do in Mississippi is fire a white officer.
You seen this in Birmingham?
Yeah, I've seen it. So the whole thing is, I'm surprised that he was... So listen, he was only placed on... So if he would have shot the woman, right, he wouldn't even be placed on administrative leave. But because there's a child involved, that's what his superiors are basing the decision off of. If he would have shot the woman accused of stealing, then he wouldn't suffer any penalty whatsoever. The feds had to come in to charge him because the state of Mississippi charging a member of law enforcement with anything that has to do with killing somebody black, that's unheard of.
You think the police force are just deliberately hiring racist officers?
I think that white people who have small dicks and have small personalities, they use law enforcement to exact revenge. They use law enforcement to substitute for their overall lack of character and heart. They use law enforcement to be able to do what they want to do to black people, minus any real consequence.
Man, look, we got to bring up Facebook Marketplace. It used to be Craigslist back in the days, man. You would buy a bike or something, some speakers or something, you meet a nigga up on Craigslist. Now Facebook Marketplace is like the place to be now. You want to sell shit. It's been getting dangerous as fuck lately though, bro. It's another case. A Facebook Marketplace transaction for a dirt bike in Hiram, Georgia, which ain't that far from here.
That far from here.
Ended up with the seller, Joshua Swink, fatally shot by the buyer after the seller realized the payment was counterfeit, and he pursued the buyer down the street.
Basically, man, dude tried to go buy a dirt bike, trying to run a little fake counterfeit scam, and Buddy caught him. But Buddy that caught him was like, he wanted to hold him till the police get there. My question to you is, who was more wrong? The guy giving the counterfeit money or the guy that's trying to hold him till the police came? Because he got shot by the dude. He got tired of, man, quit following me, bro. Pow! Killed him. Who was more wrong in this situation?
In your opinion?
What? So a person went to buy a bike from Facebook Marketplace, right?
Boom.
He sold the bike. He bought the bike using counterfeit money.
Using Usher bucks.
Usher bucks.
I took that in.
Okay, that's slick shit.
Thanks.
So he bought the bike. The person who he gave the money to realized that the money was fake, and then followed him, trying to hold him until law enforcement got there.
Yeah.
And the guy who used the counterfeit money shot the guy who his ass grass. And listen, the only thing that's gonna beat him to prison is the headlights on the bus he riding in.
No.
If he going to penitentiary, one, you used fake currency, you used counterfeit money, you lured him in. That's like a bait. You lured this guy in to a fake transaction, and you end up killing him. Your ass is in trouble. So to answer your question, who more wrong? Well, you used counterfeit money. You lured him in knowing full well, and you had a firearm on you. Your ass going to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
So who was more wrong? person who initiated the entire thing, I always look at the root cause.
Right.
We wouldn't have this if we wouldn't have had X, Y, and Z. We wouldn't have had somebody chasing you and following you, trying to make a citizen's arrest, trying to hold you until law enforcement got there. We wouldn't have had that had you not been trying to run a
So the guy wasn't wrong for trying to hold him there? You don't think he could have just let him go with the shit? Because he lost his life.
I mean, when you look at was your life worth it? Certainly not. From a legal standpoint, you can make citizens arrests. You can do that in the event that a crime is being committed. That's on the law books, especially in Georgia.
No, you're right.
You can't make citizens
Dude,
arrests.
dead wrong. He showed up with the gun, loaded gun, fake usher bucks, all type of shit.
You showed up. You're buying a dirt bike. You show up to the transaction with a gun with counterfeit money.
He was on fuck shit out when you left the crib.
Speaking of a nigga leaving the crib with fuck shit on his mind, that is the ultimate example of leaving the crib with bullshit on your mind. You had to have known that you may have gotten caught. And before you can get away, so you brought the gun and really back a nigga ball for you. But the motherfucker was just is a bike worth it? Nah.
Damn, that's sad.
That happens all the time on Facebook Marketplace.
I'm definitely not laughing at the situation. It's very unfortunate.
His ass in trouble. Was he black? Please tell me he wasn't black.
He looked white, or he might have been of some type of Mexican descent. I'm not really sure, but he wasn't black.
Oh.
Let's talk about the sentencing though, man, because the guy that shot the man, he pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter and a firearm offense, receiving a structured sentence of 20 years, dog. 9 years in prison at a Dodge State Prison. He also faces an ICE. Okay, that's my answer right there. He faces an ICE detainer and is slated for deportation to Mexico. Was this sentence justified? 20 years.
A man lost his life because you went into a transaction with bullshit on your mind. No, he should have received a life sentence for that. He should receive a life sentence for that.
Would that fall under the premeditated thing? Because he left with a loaded gun.
Well, the whole thing, I don't know if it's premeditated because if I was a lawyer, if I was a prosecutor,
premeditated.
I could have made a case for premeditation because
What would happen if you got caught?
you went there trying to trick and deceive him, and you had a firearm with you, not even a citizen of this country. You had to have known that things may have went wrong, which is why you had a gun to begin with. So you can make a case for premeditation, but in terms of the sentence, bro, if you take a life, you should pay for it with your life. Unless there are some extenuating circumstances that mitigate why you did what you did. If you take a life, you should pay for that with your life. I'm a death penalty advocate, bro. Not based on how it's been applied against black and other minorities, though, but I'm a death penalty type motherfucker. You kill a motherfucker. I believe that raping women, raping children, molesting children, I believe that is a sentence like Idaho. Idaho just passed a law in 2025 saying that if you get convicted of first degree rape of a woman or of a child, then you can be sentenced to death.
Define first degree rape. I'm not too familiar with first degree rape.
Penetration. If you penetrate.
So that's first degree. I mean, what's second degree?
Fondling.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You can ask Seven the General from Detroit. He's a fondling ass nigga. Right? You can ask him. He can tell you all about that.
So,
Right.
can you educate people that's going to keep on meeting up for Facebook Marketplace? How should they meet up with the people? Where should they meet up at to be safer?
They suggest that you meet up. They even have disclaimers on Marketplace. If you go look, they warn you to meet up in a public setting, which that was, but they also caution people to meet up at either a library where you have a lot of people there or at a police station. If you're going to make a transaction like that, right, no matter how big or small it is, you never know who's on the opposite end of that phone or that message, that communicate. You should be meeting somebody in a police station or a fire station, somewhere where you have public servants that are visible.
Rest in peace to that man. That's very unfortunate transaction that went down. Hey, check this out, bro. On May 9th, 2026, radio host Big Tigger got into a physical altercation with his wife when she found text messages in his phone. He ended up wrestling her to the ground He grabbed her by the arm and he threw her head first through the goddamn door, man.
That was good. I love that.
That was crazy,
I
right?
love that for Tigger.
Damn.
Bitch, stay at my phone, bitch.
Man, look, do you
Right.
do you feel that Tigger's nice guy reputation is ruined now? Because all you do is smile, man, and it's the basement, bro.
I don't know, because I have studied this particular situation. Big Tigger, he married a female who already has a missing child. They haven't found this woman's child yet. That's the same female that we talked about this. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. He married a female who already has a missing child. They haven't found this woman's child, been missing for 6-7 years.
Like as we
That's
speak
a
type shit?
Yeah, he met her and began a relationship with her, knowing that she had a missing child type shit. Right there, right, bitch, you gotta tell me something about that, bitch. Cause bitch, I'm suspicious. See, listen, when I'm suspicious of a bitch. You hear me? Ding, 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 ding. You can't trust these bitches. Listen, if Adam couldn't trust Eve, what chance do you think you got to trust a bitch? If Adam couldn't trust Eve to follow God's instruction, what chance do you think that you got? You got to watch these bitches, bro.
You see how he scraped up though, man?
Well, sometimes you gotta kick a bitch ass, Mark.
He threw it through the door.
Yeah, well, then sometimes you got to beat a bitch ass. Sometimes you got to put pause on the bitch. Because these women, especially black women, in 2026, these bitches out of control. These bitches is tougher than the niggas. Sometimes you got to hit a bitch. Bitch.
Masculine as hell.
Yeah, sometimes, listen, these bitches, a bitch will call you a bitch to your face. Listen. I'm not the kind of motherfucker to try to get a bitch but tell the bitch I don't hit bitches. No, I'll beat a bitch ass. Ike Turner is my motherfucking idol. You hear me? I don't believe none of this shit about Ike. I believe they over-exaggerated the ass kickings that Ike was laying down on Tina Turner. But having said that, sometimes you got to jab a bitch. Bitch is out of control. You know I ain't lying. You know I ain't lying. Look at me in the eye and tell me that you don't know some of these bitches that don't know how to hold their tongue. And sometimes females, and I'm serious about this, sometimes females will engage you in a way that men are used to other men engaging men. Sometimes a bitch will cuss you to the ground, call you, smack you, hit you, all other kind of shit. Has Tigger's nice guy image been affected by this? Not solely because of this, because this female is a troubled soul. She has a history of psychological problems from what I understand. And the bitch got a missing kid. Where your kid at, bitch?
Let's start there. Huh?
Yeah, let's start right there, bitch. Let's get to that. In the infamous words of Zip with the Drip. Let's get to that. Cause bitch, where your kid at, bitch?
You seen The Shining with Jack Nicholson come through the door?
Yeah.
They say he put it through there like that, man.
Hey, listen. I try not to judge a man, but why he had to hit his bitch. Cause sometimes bitches need to have a foot put in their ass. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I know it's a wildly unpopular stance that I'm taking here, but sometimes you got to beat these bitches' ass because these bitches is out of control.
What you think she was dead wrong for trying to go through the phone, looking at text messages like that? How you feel about married couples doing that, man?
I mean, if you have to do that, then it's a problem. If you have to do that, it's an issue. But this bitch, from what I understand, is off her motherfucking proverbial rocker. Sometimes you got to hit it. I'm just gonna tell you like this here. Sometimes you got to beat a bitch ass. I think the Bible says something about laying hands on the bitch, don't it? If it don't, we need to rewrite that particular book and put it in there. Everybody else rewrite the Bible. You got a King James version of the Bible. We need a Marvin Channel version of the Bible. Because sometimes a bitch, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm joking a little bit, but my honest reaction, my honest opinion of that is, bitch, we not going to let Big Tigger fall because of you, bitch.
We ain't never had no problem out of Big Tigger.
We have to give him the benefit of the doubt in this shit. Because the only person who has a history of a troubled past is you, goofy bitch, is you. We not go, Tigger is an icon. Right? So Tigger, we gonna give you a pass on this one. But any more reports of this shit by you, your ass gonna be with Mystical at.
Look, they said the 13-year-old child was there and witnessed the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here in
Was that
Georgia,
his kid or her kid?
I don't know. I don't want to say.
If it's her kid, fuck that kid. Kid lying motherfucker.
They
Can't trust that kid.
They got a charge here in Georgia called cruelty to children, man.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't even got to be doing nothing to the kid, but if you're arguing in front of the kid, the police will hit you with a charge called cruelty to children. What do you think about that charge here in Georgia, bro?
I think that's a bullshit charge. The fuck is you talking about? If that's the case, my mom supposed to have life in penitentiary. What? if that's the case, my mama would have life in the penitentiary.
No couples argue in front of the kids
Hey,
sometimes.
listen, that's too much trying to micromanage. That got to be some democratic ass shit. You know what I'm saying? That got to be some democratic led bill or something, because what the fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Arguing, just go sit your bitch ass down and you won't hear nothing. Go in your room and shut the fuck up and you won't hear nothing about this argument. Sometimes an argument, listen, that is ridiculous. That's overstepping. I can see why that is a. If Charlie Kirk was here to talk about that, he'd have an aneurysm. What the fuck is you talking about? Arguing in front of the kid. If that's the case, what?
I thought that was regular, you know what I'm saying?
No, listen. See, listen. They're also passing laws again across the country to where if a minor gets into any legal trouble, that the parents are responsible for it, if they can prove that the parents should have known, did know, or should have known about whatever the crime was committed by the minor. So if you're going to enact a bill or create laws that would charge a whole parents responsible for what they minor kids do, then you have to take the restraints off of their kids so they can discipline those kids to stop them from going down that road. You can't have it both ways. You can't try to charge a motherfucker with whatever their minor does, but then handcuff them to where you can't argue in front of the motherfucker. Oh shit! You never call the police on me right now.
Man, look, bro, I'm from Memphis, man. My father was in the household the whole entire time, you know what I'm saying? I'm from where don't you let nobody know about our business from going in this house, right?
But see, kids now they're being trained up to tell the police. Black kids is white kids nowadays. The first thing black kids do is say, listen, if you which camera I'm looking right here?
Yep.
Okay, listen. Black parents, if your kids go to a predominantly white school,
You gonna tell it?
beware. Because they're in school with them little cracker ass babies and they're being influenced. Because white kids talk shit to their parents.
What?
White kids, fuck you, mommy. Fuck off. They give you all that kind of shit. Now the black household, they get your jaw broke.
Get you together, huh?
So listen, parents, let me tell you how you know your black kid is a police calling ass little bitch ass nigga, right? When your kids tell you it ain't fair, that's not fair. That is an indication that kid has been in school around them white kids, right? Because in the black household, I don't give a fuck where you from. You can be from Memphis, Minnesota, Detroit. Black kids don't tell their parents that's not fair. I'm gonna speak for myself. Telling my mama that that's not fair would have led to my hospitalization. When your mama is working and struggling to take care of you, when you on ADC getting food stamps, I'm an old school food stamp baby. They had the food stamp books and shit, and they had the coins. I'm old, man. They had the little food stamp little coins and shit. They out of plastic. If I would have told my mama something wasn't fair, bro, she would have socked me in my throat, bro. That's not fair. Listen, black parents, when your kids come home from school and you discipline them or you give them some instruction about what they supposed to do or not supposed to do, if they say that's not fair,
They talk to the police.
you got you a little police calling ass motherfucker right there.
Gotta watch him.
Yeah, watch that little bitch.
Now look, now she know Big Tigger been in radio and on TV about like 30 years, bro. Was she wrong for taking it to the internet? What's wrong with just dealing with it in the house? Like I said, my daddy did it.
These modern bitches ain't keeping nothing in the house. They want to embarrass you.
She wanted to harm.
Listen, we know based on how she responded, she went to social media. What does this have to do with social media? Right? You went to social media for the sole purpose of trying to embarrass him. Now, fuck all that. I'm concerned with whether he is still trying to make it work with her. Because when a bitch do you like that, when she knows who you are and what you are, there's no history. We don't have any information that suggests that he has any history of doing something like this with somebody else, nor do we have any information that would lead us to believe that it's been an ongoing abusive relationship. When a bitch take this shit to social media, that's it for you, bitch. That's it for you. You got to go.
You couldn't fool her no more.
Yeah. Whether he did or didn't, no matter what the penalty or consequence is, if there is one, that bitch, once you call police on me, bitch, it's over with for you. That's rule. See, the niggas, it's all kind of rules that niggas forgetting. My mama told me if a bitch called the police on you, especially if you a street nigga, leave that bitch alone. That bitch ain't no good. These niggas nowadays that have a bitch call the police on them and still fuck with the hoe. No, bitch, you got to go. You got to go, bitch. You call the police on me, bitch. I'd rather you call your brother because you know. Speaking of what black people know that at any given time, if you have an encounter with the police, that encounter could turn deadly.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah.
So when you call the police on your man, especially if you know that you're a street nigga, you know that you are basically putting his life at risk.
Putting him in harm's way.
So if you black and you call the police on your family members, unless they just completely wrong and let's just really they try to kill you or something, no, we don't. A bitch calling the police on her nigga, that's not a good bitch at all. It's a terrible bitch.
Man, we got two people in the industry that's beefing. It's not like a likely couple to be beefing. It's kind of like, whoa, this is weird. Ray Daniels versus T.I. Man, bro. So Ray said that T.I. is chasing hits, and T.I. said Ray is a visitor in Atlanta. Man, what's your thoughts on T.I.'s personal views on Ray before we get into it?
Here's the problem with that, Mr. Harris. How long does a person have to live in a particular place in order to claim that place? And what kind of impact, how much of an impact does a person have to have? How long does a person have to live somewhere? And then how much of an impact does a person have to have on the particular, two questions, on the city before they can claim it? What the general public doesn't know is that Ray Daniels moved here in his preteen adolescence. I think he was 11, 12 years old, right? He moved here to Atlanta. What people don't know is that Ray Daniels went to middle school with T.I. T.I. didn't just meet Ray Daniels 5, 10 years ago. He didn't meet him when he became Tip. He knew him in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade. You grew up with him. You know his brother, you know his family. The fuck is you talking about? And when you look at what he said this tells you something, right? So I saw 2 interviews. The first interview is like, I believe that T.I. has a grudge against Ray Daniels about something or over something that has nothing to do with Ray Daniels' observation of T.I. Because he didn't just say T.I., he said T.I. and 50 Cent. And I'm assuming that whole conversation came about because of what T.I. was going through the back and forth with 50 Cent. Right. And they had their feud. And so he made 2 observations. One, he was chasing hits. Number 2, he was chasing opportunity. That's what the fuck T.I.'s been doing, right? His career, his rap career, he's a legend. We'll give him that. But when you look at the start of T.I.'s career, when he traveled to Houston and he swung on Lil Flip, because Lil Flip was mad at him for calling himself the King of the South. That is one of the first examples. And then he filmed it and recorded it. That's one of the first examples of clout chasing. You went to Houston because you were mad because Lil Flip said that you shouldn't be calling yourself the King of the South. You feel like that you could, right? It is what it is. But let me just tell you this, right? Ray Daniels said that you were guilty of chasing hits. He said it in a way or in a manner that you took offense to it. Where did he lie at? Where the lie? You know how they say? Where the lie at? That shit. Yeah. And why are you taking the most negative? Why are you taking the most negative approach to what he said? Why did that just strike you like that? Right? Why are you upset about that? You are a star. Stars chase hits.
Ain't that the objective?
Let me give you an example. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, you name it. They're movie stars, right? They chase hit movies. They turn down scripts. They turn down movies that don't have budgets that they believe will produce a good product. They chase roles in blockbuster films. That doesn't make them any less of a good actor because they do that. They feel like their talents need to be in association with something that will potentially have a major impact. You chasing hits, you're a star. T.I. was one of the biggest rappers in the South, in the history of the South. So of course you can't afford to put out a bunk ass project. You can't afford to put out a bullshit ass, especially when he was in his height. Right? You can't afford to put out anything less than, because T.I. wasn't just a representation of Atlanta. T.I. was a representation of the South. He's one of the, is T.I. Outkast, some of the biggest names, right? They were representation. They were putting on for the entire South. They couldn't. Gucci Man, before he turned rat, right? Young Jeezy, they all chased hit records, right? So what was wrong with that? When he said he chased hits and chased opportunity, hey, listen, T.I., you started out as a rapper, you became an actor. That was an opportunity. You chased it, you pursued it, and you had the opportunity to participate in it. You went to comedy. You became a comedian. You became an actor, a rapper, actor, comedian, podcaster. That is all chasing opportunities. There's nothing wrong with chasing opportunities, nor is there anything wrong with you using your celebrity status to help get a foot in the door, where ordinarily somebody who wasn't T.I., who didn't have the natural advantage of being T.I., would have to work harder. So what? You're supposed to use your power and your influence as leverage to get to where you want to be. Michael Jordan, he wanted to play baseball. Deion Sanders wanted to play baseball. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think that there's a greater problem between Ray Daniels and T.I. than just Ray Daniels making an observation that T.I. is guilty of chasing hit records.
Deeper than rap.
Yeah, because if I was a rapper who had reached even a quarter of the level of success T.I. had, I would be chasing hits also. Because I would want to put out the best possible project that's going to have the best impact, or the highest impact, or the most impact. So I think there's a problem that exists between Ray. I think T.I. is dead ass wrong, and I also think those questions have been planted. I don't think it's just coincidence that T.I. was at, because it was a podcast. I think it was an Atlanta-based podcast, but they asked T.I. about what Ray Daniels said.
He was on the Breakfast Club with that shit.
But before that, he was on another podcast before that, when they put the same question to him about what Ray Daniels said about him chasing, and he was bothered by it, but he was a little more political in terms of the way he responded to it, right? When he got to the Breakfast Club, and don't forget, when you go to the Breakfast Club, you went to the Breakfast Club on the media run because you're dropping an album. T.I.'s first week sales, they're for to come out. I think this will be the worst first week he's had in the history.
No.
I don't think that T.I. did over 50,000 units first week, and that's not good for somebody who has that much presence in the hip hop, just in the culture. Right, so I don't think that T.I. is going to do more than 50,000 units. So I think he's a bit aggravated by it for a variety of different reasons. You know, his son, all the kind of shit that his son King, all that goofy ass shit he had going on, the back and forth with T.I. I think that T.I. mad about a whole bunch of shit, and he just used Ray Daniels as a pin cushion. I tried to use Ray Daniels as a pin cushion because
we all like Ray though, man. Ray don't bother nobody.
Yeah, Ray's turnaround in terms of how he has turned himself into a YouTube influencer is monumental. I haven't seen a music executive grab hold to YouTube like he has done. And he has, speaking of, so all T.I. had to do is say, hey, you're chasing the same opportunities I'm chasing. You're a music executive. And now you're a podcaster. Now you're a YouTuber. So how am I wrong when you're doing the same thing? Anybody with any sense is trying to leverage who they are and what they've done so they can secure another check. So I don't think that T.I. was just simply mad about that. I think it's something personal. T.I. been knowing Ray Daniels 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years. And I think the Breakfast Club shit, that's just a part. Promo shit. I don't believe that, because Lauren LaRosa is the one who brought up what Ray Daniels said about, or Ray Daniels' observation about T.I. on the Breakfast Club. I don't think that Lauren LaRosa, I think that question was planted for clout purposes. I think that was a planted question. I think they asked him that on purpose so that he can go ballistic and say what he had to say. Because when you say, oh, he ain't from Atlanta, he a visitor here. Ray Daniels been out here since he was 12 years old, right? In terms of producing hit records for other people, especially Atlanta artists, Ray Daniels has had more impact on the city of Atlanta than T.I. has.
Ray knows what he's talking about when it comes to music. He knows music.
Yeah, you gotta give him that. It is what it is. So I think there's some there to it. I don't think T.I. is necessarily mad about that. I really think it's a South Side, West Side issue. Cause Ray, South Side motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? T.I., we saw T.I. on his reality show where he was going back and forth with Tiny about West Side, Bankhead, and the South Side shit. So Ray a South Side motherfucker. So West Side, Bankhead niggas, we know in Atlanta, you ain't gotta be from Atlanta to know niggas from the West Side think they from the best side and they don't really have any respect for South Side motherfuckers. So I think T.I. need to motherfucking relax, take a chill pill, and just keep on doing what he doing.
And speaking of Tiny, you know, she got that big stupid ass check for them, the OMG girls with the dog lawsuit and stuff like that. It was reported like 70 million, but then they took some back. But either way it goes, a big stupid ass check. My question to you, man, you think T.I. was already a little arrogant? Let's keep it a buck.
He's always been
You
arrogant.
think he got extra arrogant when that check came through?
So
bro?
let's stop. Let's just focus on one part of T.I. So one of the reasons why people are calling T.I. a snitch is because of what transpired in Cincinnati, Ohio, at that club doing that show.
Let's talk about it.
Right? I'm from Michigan. You know, Michigan right next to Ohio. I know a bunch of niggas out of Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? I done hustled and ran with niggas from Cincinnati, Columbus, Dayton, Ohio. So I know. So when it happened, I was connected with motherfuckers who were connected. So when T.I. was in the club, there was somebody at the booth adjacent to his who was just simply asking for a picture. The person who asked to take him a picture was a nigga who was really moving and shaking. A main player down there. That's why shit turned so bad for him so fast after he snubbed him and after his arrogant side showed. That's how he got himself into that shit. Nobody had a problem with him. He had been booked. Niggas fuck with T.I. Know what I'm saying? But when Dog asked him to take a picture, he went up top with him with the arrogant shit. And that shit is what turned to the death of his people. And that's what led to T.I. taking a stand and saying what he had to say about who shot his people. So I don't think that he's learned his lesson. And I think he has a Napoleon complex because he ain't never this big, little bitty ass nigga. He ain't never a little bitty ass nigga like this here. You hear me? That don't mean he ain't got no heart though, but he ain't never a little bitty ass nigga. So I think it's the short mind complex. And I think he's trying to overqualify himself as an OG. Hey, listen, T.I., when you weigh in on what happened between Gunna, Young Thug, when you weigh in about that, when you tell the truth about that, cause you Atlanta OG. Why y'all letting Bank do all the heavy lifting? T.I., you should be weighing in on what the fuck happened with Gucci Mane. You should be weighing in since you want to use your power and influence, right? A better question for Lauren LaRosa to T.I. is what do you think about the fallout of the YSL trial? What do you think about Lil Woody? What do you think about what happened with the leaked jail phone calls with Thug and 21 Savage?
His partners, man. He probably won't touch on that though, bro.
Why? Whoa, nigga. No.
Touch on that.
No. But you touched on Ray Daniels, a person you've been knowing for 30, 40 years. 30 years. You went to school with him. So when you say he ain't from Atlanta, nigga, what do that guy do to qualify? He's helped more Atlanta artists than you have. And you're from Atlanta. So what does that mean about you?
Man, they had brought up the verses, man. Like, they was like, yo, man, who would you do in verses? Like, man, look, verses is for poor people, bro. He pissed Timbaland off with that shit, man. Timbaland saw that in the comment section, man. Like, he's like, what? Do you think?
Let's stop right there. Verses is for poor people, but we saw him engaging 50 Cent.
That's why I was going with that.
Online about their catalogs. So now all of a sudden Versus is for if Versus is for poor people, what in the fuck was at the root of you and 50 Cent getting into it with each other online? It was about catalog. It was about who can do what. And T.I. even said we can get on stage and do it. Am I fucking crazy? I remember him saying we can. So now Versus is for poor people. That is arrogance. That is he's frustrated. The whole 50 Cent thing, his sons chiming in, 50 Cent talking about his wife and his kids, all that shit really left a nasty taste in T.I.'s mouth. Yeah. So in his mind, it's for poor people. But it wasn't for poor people when you were talking about your catalog and comparing your catalog to other people.
You said it before, man. We all know, but let's hear from you again. What's the definition of insanity?
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing the same way over and over again, but expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity.
So is it safe to say that Mystical is insane?
That bitch ass nigga. That you make me scratch with that. Ooh.
You gotta tread lightly, man. This is one of our legends, bro.
Oh,
I mean, what's going on with him, bro? Is it safe to say that Mystical is insane? You just gave us a definition, bro. Oh, you gotta go to the. Oh man, damn, he writing y'all. Ah, damn.
when you take pussy, receive it right here. Look, hold on. Taking pussy, it automatically disqualifies you from legendary status. The first time he was accused of taking some pussy, okay, we get it. You a star. Maybe she lying, maybe she ain't, but we'll give you the benefit of the
Shit
doubt.
happens.
Because that shit happens. The second time he was accused of taking some pussy,
Little side eye, huh?
the third time, oh, bitch, you out. We playing baseball. Bitch, what's it, Randy Johnson? We gonna hit your ass with the ready, hey, Mystical. I wish I was on that motherfucking jury.
No.
I would have sent your bitch ass to the penitentiary, bitch. Cause ain't that much bad luck in the world. Ain't that, I'm a criminal, I'm a criminal's criminal, right? And I understand how you can, things shit happen, but no. No, live right here. When you take pussy, take pussy. You done gave your legendary status up. Mystical, we'll see your bitch ass when you get 75.
No.
I don't got no feelings or sympathy for you, but fuck you. Fuck your music. That's who music need to be took down off iTunes because we know that most of the shit you was talking, there probably was some coded rape language in that shit.
Let me get this off. They said, man, he broke the bitch. Well, he broke the bitch dark spit in the face, and made her pray to God before he took the pussy, man. Now that's dog right there, bro. Yeah, that's been reported, man.
What you say he did?
Broke her fingernail,
That's
so
one.
you know there's
Oh.
an attack going on.
Broke fingernail. Okay, what's number 2?
Spit in the face, spit on her,
Spit on her.
then took the ass, bro. No, made her pray to God.
Pray to God.
Yeah.
And what's
bro.
number 4?
Number 4? I think number 4 was just actually the act of taking the ass.
Take pussy.
Damn.
Now I'm gonna tell you something, right? Now I done broke a bitch fingernail before. I done spit in the bitch because some bitches like to be spit on. There's some freaky shit going on. I done made the bitch pray to God, put that dick on her, right? But taking the pussy, no, we went 2 steps. No. 1, 2, and 3, I'm playing wrong with that because some hoes like it rough. But this part right here, the take pussy part, no.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Fuck you. I wish I was on that jury. I'd have sent your bitch ass to the penitentiary. I would have convinced the other motherfuckers who was straddling the fence, send your bitch, because taking pussy, that's not no normal crime, bro. That's not a crime that's been motivated by poverty or by anger. When you take pussy, you violating women. And if you would take some pussy, I don't want you around the kids neither. You a suspect, you suspicious. We ain't fucking with you.
You can speak, G. Go ahead.
No.
So we gonna pull up this verse.
All right, go ahead. What he said, bro?
This motherfucker said, I came here with my dick in my hand.
He told you what he was on.
Don't make me leave here with my foot in your ass. Be cool.
Damn.
I came here with my dick in my hand. Why we need to know that on the rap record? I don't know. That is, you know how they use lyrics again?
Yeah.
They should
Use it.
Hey, look at this nigga saying this nigga say don't. That's danger. That was danger. That came from the song Danger.
No.
That was danger.
I thought they have shake
Shake
your
it fast. Yeah.
Shake it fast. I came here. Oh,
That rhyme
be
takes
cool.
some ass.
Yeah. No,
man, bro.
Let's go. We get back.
He
with
let
you.
me down on that one. But the part I don't understand is you're a celebrity. I don't think you have to take no. I think Mr. Servon can still get some pussy right now. No disrespect, Mr. Servon. You mystical. Been so long. Why do you have to take it, man? They gonna just throw you some pussy.
Pussy costs $39.99. You hear me? He wrote everything unless Master P jerked him. He getting a royalty check.
Let's talk on a more serious level when it comes to mystical, man. Let's talk about a more deep-rooted issue. You think it's possible he had PTSD? Because I think he served like in the army or something like that, and maybe something happened.
So I heard Mystical had a history of substance abuse. And I believe that it could have been a situation where, I don't know if they brought it up in his trial. Well, I know he didn't go to trial. He copped out to it. Right? So I don't know if this is already established in the court record. I don't know if the judge used his past history of being in the service and maybe suffering some type of psychosis or whatever. I don't know if it was a mitigating circumstance. that impacted his sentence? I don't know. What I do know is, nigga, seek help, motherfucker. For all the black men, if you out there, you think about taking some pussy, that might not be the best idea. You might want to think about that.
Man, bro, look, I just had Alpha Mega on the show the other day. Shout out to Alpha Mega. And
It's out there, brother.
Yeah, man. Good guy, man. We brought up the mystical situation. He's brought up something that was very interesting. He said, man, you don't know what he went through. You know, he lost his sister to murder, but at the same time, he might have been molested. Him and his sister might have been molested as kids. That issue that he's probably dealing with that he just never said anything about it. He's acting out on.
So
what are your thoughts on that?
Tell that to the girl's mama. Tell it to her children. Tell it to her father. Tell it to her brothers.
He wasn't saying it was okay, but he was saying some deep rooted.
Okay, I get you, but it don't. So I would just simply answer that question by saying this: if it was his sister, how would he feel? How would he feel about what happened to her? Even if those circumstances or those conditions, or that, even if he did suffer from that, even if those things were true, even if it did have an impact on him, how would he feel about it if it was his? No. If it was your daughter, brother, how would you feel about it? And if it was your daughter and you had the opportunity to get to him if the police got to him, what would you do and how would you feel? Would you seek any retribution? Let's just say if Mystical let's say if it was his daughter that Mystical raped, and let's just say if Mystical would have beat the case, if he got found out guilty, got acquitted, what would you do to Mystical if you saw him? You wouldn't give a fuck what the circumstances
What you would do?
Right, when it comes to raping women and abusing kids, I don't give no quarter to that. That's an old Southern 1800. Your ass need to die. If you rape women and molest kids, you are deserving of death.
So you bringing that death sentence you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what factors. Those are called mitigating circumstances. You asking the court to look at, well, my sister got murdered. What does your sister get? Okay, so let's track this. Your sister got murdered by somebody, so you took pussy. Hold on, let me do the diagram of this. So listen, the diagram is your sister, let's do this right here. Your sister get murdered, we're gonna say M1'd. Your sister get M1'd, so that means you take pussy. Okay, so you were in the army, and you suffered from some form of PTSD, so you come home and you take pussy. Okay, the dog ate your homework, so because the dog ate your homework, dog ate homework, so that means you take pussy.
It ain't justified, man.
It's not adding up.
I don't know. That just ain't really striking no bell with me.
Yeah.
When you take pussy because you have something going on up here that makes you believe that your actions, at least while you're doing it, are okay. That is a psychological disturbance. Mystical needs to be spayed and neutered. What you call it for the boy dog? Is that neutered or spayed? What is
It's one of them.
One of them.
Bob Barker, you said it, Price is Right. Yeah.
He needs to be both of them. He needs to be spayed and neutered. You hear me? Mystical, we can't trust him. Can we trust him?
No, man.
Can we
No,
trust
he's scared
him?
of that nigga, man.
No, I'm scared of Mystical.
Man.
No, he look out with another jury.
But thank God you went on the jury, man, because he'd had a death sentence right now.
Yes, he would. And I ain't afraid to say, you said, yeah, that nigga need to go. Because listen, raping women is not the same thing as selling dope. It's not the same thing as robbing, stealing. Raping a motherfucker. Listen, they say that 75% of young boys and girls who get molested in their preteen adolescence, young boys and young girls, they say they go on to become abusers in some way. So when you rape an innocent person, even a grown woman, you're affecting her. You're not just affecting her physically, you're affecting her psyche. You're affecting her soul. You striking at her soul. You striking at her spirit. I don't give a fuck what happened. No means no, motherfucker. That's what it means. It's as simple as that. And he had 3 times.
Damn.
Not one. Okay, I give you that. Man.
The first time was shocking. I ain't gonna lie. Damn.
I'll give him that. But 3? No. And there's videotape of the first one. There's videotape of the first situation where he took a cop to the first. You know, you taking cops to this shit. You ain't even going to trial. You ain't even going to trial. You taking cops. You taking no, nigga. You lock that bitch ass nigga up.
Damn, this broke my heart, man.
Yeah. He didn't break my heart because we been knew something was wrong with this nigga. Any nigga be hollering like that on the microphone, that ain't no normal nigga. That's a nigga with pent up emotional anxiety. Well, what nigga rap like that is saying? Him, DMX, both of them niggas crazy.
Damn, man. Man, this next topic is, I think you know more about this guy than I do, because y'all was actually, I think y'all was like lightweight beefing. Man, break down to the viewers, man, what the hell going on with Cartel Bo, man, and the baby mama? They got footage of the baby mama pulling up, you know what I'm saying, and he was
Kidnapping the child.
Kidnapped the child, ran and tried to snatch the child out the goddamn whip, man. And he's questioning himself online, like, yo, if I go down and tell on her, everybody gonna look at me like a snitch.
No, it ain't. Because that's a matter of domestic. That's a domestic situation, and this is your Cartel Bo has been on the quest to get his child from that woman who has been deemed an unfit parent. She's been homeless, running around doing all manners of bullshit. Even by the way, have you seen her? Her and Cartel Bo like twins.
Oh, come on, man.
I think it's some incest going on. I think that's why their relationship is so explosive, because both of them got big ass chins. You pull a picture of that hoe.
Strong chin?
Strong chin. Now, y'all can't get along because y'all cousins.
Damn.
That's how you do down south.
She like she could take a punch, is what you saying.
That bitch chin like this. That bitch chin. Man, she ain't afraid of that nigga neither.
Did you saw how she got out the car, ran and tried
That's a big burly old bitch there, you hear me? But to tell you, Cartel Bo, your job you worried about what somebody gonna say about you. But nigga, you ain't commit no crime with that bitch and went and told on who robbed who shot who. This is a domestic violence situation, right? The police already know what happened because you already turned the tape over to them, right? In order to prove your innocence, because she had made some accusations about him and the motherfucking Uber driver, whoever the fuck this nigga was, you had to defend yourself, so you had to get the tape up.
Let's talk about him. Do Uber drivers do that? Come out and help in domestic disputes like that?
Yes, that's a new.
When
you order your ride, you tell them, my baby daddy, I'm gonna go kidnap. I'm gonna go kidnap my baby daddy.
Standby, man.
That's like, cause you know, you Uber, you can do different shit. Uber, you can deliver a package.
That's true.
You Uber Eats, and now it's Captain Save them Uber. You can do what you need. I need you to help take me to kidnap my baby, who I've lost custody of, for my baby daddy, who is 6'5" ass, angry, light-skinned ass rapper. We both look like sisters and brothers.
He must thought he gonna get some ass for that.
Gotcha.
They got to risk it at all.
That pussy ain't no good.
Damn.
Listen, the worst thing a bitch, the worst quality of any female is a female who doesn't take care of your kids. I don't give a fuck who the bitch is or what she on. The worst thing a bitch can do is not take care of her kids and not do everything in her power to make sure her kids are properly taken care of. Cartel Bo, whatever you gotta do to safeguard those kids is for the kids. Fuck with the public thing.
We ain't gonna look at you crazy, man.
Fuck with it, because this is not a matter of she's saying, well, you're not supposed to defend yourself against the actor. She already said that you hit her, or the Uber driver said that you hit them. You already had to produce the tape to prove that you didn't do it. So you already letting the police know that, hey, I was just trying to protect my kid. They ran up on my car and tried to snatch my kid out the car.
Hey, this another thing, man. This will tell you what type of baby mom she is. When you saw she took the baby out the car seat, she falling all on top of the kid and shit, like you don't even give a damn about the baby.
It wasn't about the welfare of the kid concerned, because she has no home. She's homeless, right? And she had been homeless for quite some time. He's been fighting with this bitch for the better part of a year or two. I've been watching this shit go back and forth, playing out like a badass soap opera. Let me tell you something about this old reggae. First of all, listen. I don't know what the fuck is going on in Houston, but when you Sauce Walker, Cartel Bo, and a couple of other these niggas got bitches, they didn't put babies in these hoes who were never qualified to have kids to begin with. These niggas with these pimp personas and these braggadocious ass motherfucking personalities, they find themselves putting babies in holes. Cartel Bo, you know that bitch wasn't fit for no baby. You know you wasn't even supposed to be fucking that hoe. See, the problem here is that you and her got to be cousins. Y'all look just alike. I swear to God. I want you to take a picture of that cartel bow and put her start to the chin. Right? They twins. That's your cousin, nigga. That's why there's so much animosity between you and that bitch. Kissing cousins. The DNA all fucked up over there.
Damn, man. Well, we gotta bring up. I can't say this is your nemesis and nothing like that, but you guys are kind of like, I'm gonna say same level. You know what I'm saying? But both in media, doing your thing, man. Charleston White, man. Kind of took it far the other day, man. He came out with the watermelon felon T-shirt, man, talking about Carmelo Anthony. I want to know what's your thoughts when you saw that, because you know he does a lot of antics and stuff like that. What do you think about that particular antic right there?
I was disgusted by it because of the nature of where it came from. It didn't come from a good place. It came from the father of a young boy who got himself killed because he was trying to bully and intimidate a young black boy who was sitting under a tent in the rain, minding his own motherfucking business. Charleston White, I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Charleston White reminds me of an old school civil rights leader who's been bought off by the government. Charleston White has even admitted that he's an undercover informant for the Fort Worth Police Department.
No.
Everything that Charleston White is doing or has done, right, is all for the express purposes of trying to chase clout, right? He takes the worst possible situations that transpire with Black America particularly. He takes the worst situations and he chooses to chime in on those situations. Now, mind you, I think we talked about this before. He's the same person when not 6 months ago, he fell out with most of the urban media platforms saying that they were studying his growth. And because they were asking him the same questions over and over again on the urban platforms, it didn't allow him to kind of like show his range, his psychological or his oral range, right? It didn't allow him to showcase his mental dexterity, right? But then when he went over there with the Aiden Rosses, right? They sent his bitch ass back over here with the niggas, like they do. And so he fell out with Sean Cotton. He had a problem with everybody, but now he's back trying to work with the same people because the white people were never going to pay you for they use you to talk about black people, but they do what they always do when they come to bootlicking ass house porch niggas. They use you until they can't use you or you don't serve their purpose anymore, and they send your bitch ass back. Charleston White said he was tired of it. He wanted to be on Joe Rogan's. He wanted to be on Matt Cox, It's True Crime. He wanted to be on CNN somewhere. You don't qualify because you rose to fame by being a buck dancing ass nigga. You rose to fame by being a critique of all things black. And at first it seemed to be kind of clever because he was calling out, it appeared as if he was calling out truths about us as a people that factored into why we are so fucked up as a whole. I was cool with that. But he quickly changed his stance, and now he is nothing more than a bootlicking ass, Sambo, neckbone, pickle pig feet eating ass nigga. He always tries to elevate himself over other people by saying, hey, I come from a church mama, I come from a good mama, I come from this, I come from that. But you're the same nigga who found yourself killing a elderly white man about one jacket.
It was a starter jacket.
So how do you rationalize your mother being as good as you say she is? I don't think his mama was that good. I think his mama was a low-key freak. Because you don't get no one-eyed willy nigga-ass nigga like that to operate like that, right? And come out like that. Let his mama out. His mama got to be ashamed of him. So to answer your question about what I feel about the Carmelo Anthony shit and the watermelon felon shit, listen, Charleston White was a plant from the very beginning because when it first happened, he was on the side of the Metcalf family. He was criticizing Carmelo Anthony, right? Then he switched over. And he purposefully befriended the Anthony family as an agent provocateur. He was never on their side. He never had $75,000 to give them. And then when you think about it, how does the general public know that he was going to donate $75,000? Because he said it. How does the general public know that he had an issue with Carmelo Anthony's parents and father or whatever, because he said it, right? He set them up from the very beginning. He's the one who was advising them about who to go with from a legal standpoint. He's the one, him and the Dominic Alexander motherfuckers, both of those cocksucking bitch ass niggas were instrumental in getting behind that family and trying to mislead them and persuade them to do things that they should have known better than to do. Charleston White, he has no presence in the hip hop community.